My ear, I hear that we now have, at the White House, National Economic Council Director Gary Cohn. Gary, we got you, and you've got that big smile, and I know why you've got a big smile, because you did it. You were pushing hard for this tax plan, and you got it. Take a bow, sir. Go ahead.
No bow yet, Stuart, but thanks for having me. Look, we do have a House tax plan out, and the House Ways and Means Committee will be working on it for the next couple of weeks. And hopefully a couple weeks from now, we'll be on the floor of the House and we'll get a plan through the House. The Senate is equally working on their tax plan, and we're excited to be working with both the House and the Senate on a tax plan that we really think will be great for America.
But the Senate cannot change it that much, because you're locked into $1.5 trillion worth of tax cuts over a 10-year period. You can't exceed that. So there's a real limit to what you can do with the House plan that we saw yesterday.
Stuart, you're right. On the reconciliation instructions, we have to be within a $1.5 trillion scoring over the 10-year window. But that does leave us enormous amount of latitude. The Senate will have their own plan. It will have quite a few similarities to the House, but it will have some differences. And then we will work out those differences.
Now, you're a New Yorker. And there's a lot of people in New York and New Jersey and Connecticut and Massachusetts and Illinois and California, high-income earners, they're going to end up paying more under this tax plan. Have you no heart, Gary Cohn, for these poor people who are they're going to get slaughtered, and you know it. Can you do anything for them?
Stuart, look, you have to look at the tax plan in its entirety. That's what we've been trying to design. We've been trying to design a tax plan that's good for 300 million plus Americans. And the tax plan has a lot of different components to it. Yep. Most importantly, we're trying to drive economic growth, and we're trying to drive wages for middle-class Americans. That's what's really important. When we drive economic growth, everyone in the country wins.
I've seen a Republican this morning who is saying that you're financing a big cut for a business so the rest of America can pay more. People pay more. Some people pay more to finance a big cut for corporate America. That sounds kind of realistic, doesn't it?
No, Stuart. What we're doing is we're making ourselves more competitive. We're lowering our business tax rates here in America so we can compete with the rest of the world. Today, we can't compete. Companies move offshore and they save 15 or 20% on their tax rate, so they domicile offshore, they move jobs offshore. We need to get those jobs back onshore. We need to get that revenue back onshore so we can tax it. We've put out a couple economic studies that show when we move those jobs back onshore, we're going to grow wages in this country by about $4,000 per family. Growing wages is really what's important in this country.
Yesterday, when we were breaking the details of this plan, we heard from a Republican who said, if you get it done this year, it will be retroactive to January the 1st of this year. No, you can't do that. It would cost too much, wouldn't it?
Stuart, look, we're trying to deliver great tax reform in the American public. We can't get it retroactive to this year. Sure. We're trying to do a tax plan that starts on January 1st of next year.
Now, you've got a low tax rate, 12% for cash coming back to America, 5% for tangible assets coming back to America. You must have done the numbers. How much money do you expect to bring back with that kind of tax holiday for that group?
Stuart, it's hundreds of billions of dollars are coming back, and that's part of our calculation. And remember, it's deemed. We're deeming that money coming back. So companies, the minute we pass this tax law and we get into 2018, they're going to have to accrue a liability. So we assume once they accrue the liability, they're going to pay the tax, they're going to move the money back and invest it back in the U.S. economy.
Now, we're hearing whispers in the Senate that they would like to move the corporate tax rate, the maximum tax rate, up to 22%. What would Gary Cohn say to that?
Gary Cohn would say that President Trump's not going to agree to that.
Well, that's a short answer. You know, you can't do this to me. You know, I require conversation backwards and forwards, you know. You want to expound on this?
No, look, Stuart, as you and I have talked many, many times, we have been very flexible on what we're willing to put in the tax reform package. There's really two areas where we have shown no flexibility. Number one is the business tax rate. We need to have a corporate rate that's 20% or lower, and there's a reason for that. The worldwide OECD rate is about 22 or 23%. If we want to be competitive with the rest of the world, we need to be below that rate, and 20% is the number we need to be at or lower. We also have another bright line test, is we need to deliver middle class, middle income hardworking families. We need to deliver them a tax cut. Those are the two areas where the president won't budge. Everything else, we're pretty flexible on.
I'm sure that you're now working the phones with senators from the United States Senate. You've got to be doing that. What's the sense that you're getting from those conversations?
Stuart, look, we've been working with the House members, we're working with senators, we're working with everyone. We are all committed, both in the House and the Senate, to come up with a tax plan that we can deliver to the president's desk this year for him to sign into law to be enacted on January 1st of 2018.
Every time we've spoken to you, you've expressed confidence that you will get 218 votes in the House, and it looks like you've got that. And you've said we will get 50 votes in the Senate.
51. 51, Stuart, 51.
Okay, 51. You are very confident you're going to get it.
Look, we're as confident as we've been. Yesterday was a great step forward, getting the Ways and Means Committee to put their plan out. We know the Senate is working equally as hard to get their plan out, and the process is working through the normal ways that we said it would. And everything we've been talking about for the last 9 months is literally happening as we speak right now. So we are very excited the progress we're making. You know, the president's off to Asia. When he gets back, we told him we're going to have enormous amount of progress, and hopefully we can have a bill ready for voting the first week he gets back from Asia in the House.
So before we close it out, Nancy Pelosi says it's a shell game, a Ponzi scheme. It's perpetrated by business. Senator Schumer says it actually is a tax burden on the middle class. Just respond to that, please.
I don't think they've read the piece of legislation yet. I really don't, because if they'd read it, they wouldn't be able to say that. If you look at what the Washington Post said yesterday, they gave the Democrats 4 Pinocchios and told them to take down their text because they were actually lying.
You know, it's very difficult doing an interview with you because you have short responses, like soundbite responses. I'm used to conversation, you know, but I don't get it from you. But thanks for being on the show.
My pleasure.
Gary Cohn, you're all right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.